everyone, you may think that we never change, but it's actually because we've recorded the last few episodes like all in one go. So don't worry, we're clean. All right. So for the next topic, we wanted to discuss the fact of wanting to save things that we do and just keeping track of our life and having a record of what we've done. And the premise behind that is that we are what we remember of ourselves and of our experiences and life and of the events that we take part in. And so by saving pictures and videos, then we can remember more, and thus we can have like a fuller life. But that, again, that comes with a cost. So David, what do you think of this?
So when we were in our calculus lecture, the professor started to juggle. And by our, I mean Claudio.
Yeah.
Neil's already taken it.
Yeah. Smart.
But is this Dan?
No, it's
Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
Very talented. He's very good. Anyways.
And some people were recording him, and then he said, "No, don't do that. Just please live in the moment."
Yeah.
And he's also kind of anal about people recording in lecture or taking pictures for good reasons. But then I was just thinking, I mean, this is a very like hot topic. A lot of people talking about like social media bad, is it good?
Sure. Privacy as well if you
taking pictures. And then one thing I've been thinking about is that oftentimes when I'm with people, and myself included, we take a lot of photos. Like I'll be like, oh, I need to take a picture of the sunset. I need to like take a selfie with my friends.
Yeah.
Not so much now. I actually got rid of Snapchat and stuff recently, but
That's why you never answered.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even tell you. I just deleted it, and then it's been in
That is smart. That is very smart.
You go in these phases.
Anyway, I do feel like there is a huge negative aspect to it, because then you feel like obligated to always be like ready to take a picture or to like write down everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, there definitely are benefits to it. Like I want to remember certain like music ideas that I have, or I want to take pictures of a special moment.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a point where now, rather than it being a tool for me to like better remember it, now I'm kind of like shaping my interactions or like adventures or just errands around like being like taking these pictures and like saving it and recording it.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of almost turning around what it was useful for in the first place to now I'm doing it too much. Now I feel like I feel obligated to always be like taking pictures and writing things down.
Yeah.
And it kind of detracts from like the just being in the moment and then like maybe enjoying something.
I mean, one of my favorite pictures is from it was at a concert. I forget who was performing, but everybody who was in the front row had their phones out recording these people.
It's true.
And I'm thinking to myself that you're in the front row watching this band that you clearly love, and you're not even looking at them. You're looking at your phone that's pointed at them.
Yeah.
Which, to me, defeats the purpose of creating experiences in the first place. Like, sure, 10 years down the line, you'll look at this video and be like, oh, look, I did this.
Yeah.
But did you really do it? Because all you were doing is recording.
Yeah, because then like you didn't really experience it, so you might not have that like... I mean, I don't want to say too much, like... I do feel like maybe there might be less of like an emotional response when you see it, because you're like, oh, I need to take like, a video.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're like, you definitely will feel excited, but I think like if you're just really like taking it all in, and then you maybe thought back to it, you're like, wow, it was incredible. And
yeah, I mean, and then that's why I don't take pictures or videos at any concert I go to now, because I want to experience it. But then at the same time, even though I know it's better for my experience, after the event, I always feel terrible, because I'm like, okay, I experienced this, but
now it's done, it's gone.
But I have no way to relive this. I have no proof that this ever happened. Like,
yeah. I feel that way as well, and especially like a crucial part that I think comes with taking pictures and videos is that you can share it, right? And I think that sharing is one of the best things that anyone can do. It brings me personally so much joy. Like whenever I watch a good movie, I always say, oh, I wish that I would be able to see this with that person or that person, because they would like it so much as well, and we could just share the experience, talk about it, right? Same thing with food, with concerts, or going to a nice park, right? I always feel that sharing just enhances everything because we're humans, we're social animals, and we really value contact with other human beings.
Yeah, but then when you have like these phones and like let's say social media, now it's getting to a point where now we're like living and experiencing to share, because you want to have like content to share. Like people go out, they're like, oh man, I need to make sure I can like get a good picture here.
So are you saying that sharing is bad?
No, sharing isn't inherently bad, but like the scale at which we can do it now kind of shapes our like experiences to the point where it's like, now I need to share something.
So like,
and then it puts you under this like pressure to like, oh, I need to take this just in case I can like post it
also
and like share it somewhere else.
It leads into creating a very idealistic, constructed image of what's going on.
Yeah, that's something else. But
no, like with sharing, right? You don't want to share just a picture you took. You want to make sure it's a good picture that you took because you want others to appreciate it too. Which is why when you go to a restaurant, for example, you're not going to just take a picture of your food. You're going to make sure the lighting's right, the angle's right,
and then do it. Yes.
And it annoys me so much because I'm like, we're here to eat, and I can't eat because you're taking pictures of the food.
I'm sorry, I
show
always
other
do
people.
that.
It's like, sorry. Okay, call it. Okay.
Oh no, dude,
keep
pictures
are
everything. No, my father is so much worse than you. He will take 18 angles. And it'll go on for like
make sure
10 minutes.
that
The food is cold by the time I start eating.
Yeah.
It's just.
And see, the thing about sharing is that when you have like, let's say you have like some unexpected event, or like you capture something when you didn't expect it, like you want to share it because you just happen to get something that you want to share. Like if I'm driving and then like I see something crazy, I'll share it, and then it's almost like, now at this point it's like I want to drive somewhere on purpose because I want to see something so I can tell people, like as kind of an analogy. So now, like, and as I was saying about like just needing to share things, it's not like you just happened upon something and then like you now got a picture and then you can share it. It's like you're purposely doing things so that you can like save it or like share it.
So the purpose is sharing, right? So that you can get attention or acceptance.
And then it just completely shifts like the motivations and purposes of like what you do.
Like instead of going there because you enjoy that place, you go there because you want to share it and you want others to see that you're there.
Yeah. So I became like kind of aware of that. Like I used to spend like so much time taking stupid pictures. Sorry, it might be a little bit negative here, but I spend like so much time on my phone, or just like so much time trying to like save certain experiences, and then I realized like I feel like I'm just not really living. I'm just like kind of seeing it through like the lens of a camera, or like on my phone telling people about things. And then when I got rid of like some social media, it's like now I don't really feel so obligated to like go through this industrial like line of seeing people's photos and like trying to get in there to be like maximize attention and stuff. Yeah. I feel much more like just less. I feel less pressure.
But do you think it's still valuable to save memories?
I definitely think it is valuable, and I just think that the value goes down when you're always trying to force it.
So when the motive behind it shifts, then that's when it's not as worth it, right?
Yeah, because like you will still get certain things that you want to save and like that are worth saving, but then you just in so many cases you feel like this pressure, like, oh, I need to save it.
Yeah. So
and to me that was kind of damaging. Like
I can definitely see that. Like that is one downside of having social media and just being in this environment in society that really pushes all of us to share and to show everyone what we're doing at all times, right?
Yeah.
So that's one bad aspect of it. Although I also do think that that social media is great if used properly. Like at least, I mean, it's another topic, but like it allowed me to connect with people so much more, and just keep up with my friends, and that's something that I like, right? Yes. But it can be taken negatively because then you can feel, oh, they're doing so many cool things and I'm not, and then you can feel bad about it as well. So like that's
right. That's a whole other.
Yes, but about just the fact of saving your events in your life, right? And like I recently got this app called Dailyo, that basically is like a life tracker. It's it's what we had as an idea to build something that people could say how they were feeling, and then it would show patterns and stuff like that. And I think that's very cool, right? Because it can also be used as a therapeutic application in which you can look back and see, oh wow, look, over the past month, 3 days I was feeling extremely happy. 7 days it was normal. 25, oh well, that's too many days, but like 15 days it was like good, and then 5 days very bad, right? So I like that. I think that it's very insightful, but then at the same time, it makes you feel almost dependent on that. Like, I depend so much on my previous pictures, right? Instead of, just feeling detached and just, feeling happy with what I remember and, just by who I am. Yeah. So that's something that I've been thinking of, and that's why, I was bringing this question up. Because, it is also a dependency factor. Like, it's like, oh, I have all these pictures, like, I depend on them to some level. I depend on the app so that I can look back at it.
But why do you depend on it? Like, sure, you can look back on it, but how frequently do you actually look back on it? Like, all these pictures you've taken over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
How many times have you looked at them?
Well, in the case of pictures and videos, like, I often take initially when I started taking pictures, it was often of just like landscapes and stuff like that, because I wanted to get more into photography. But then I realized that what matters is taking pictures of people. And I realized that going back to people is what really makes me happy. Like, I often go back with my family to pictures of when I was a kid, or videos of when we were younger, or trips, and that's really valuable, right?
Well, to me, that's a little bit different. That
but that's still saving a moment.
Like, merely like in a social sense, but that's kind
but
of
that's
like,
still social.
That, that's more of an art form to me, because like it's actual photography. Really trying to capture it the way that you want to capture it.
Yes.
So that you can kind of like inspire other people, make them see it the way that you see it.
I didn't mean it as that way. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. And like, I just want to verify that like what I was talking about is more like how having these tools, especially like just socially, like targeted socially, it's just it puts you into this position where like now you're going to be capturing things where like in the first place you wouldn't even care to like save. Like, you might see an ambulance at Laurier, which is the university one of them around here, and then you might take a picture. But then when you go back, you're like, oh, I have this ambulance in my like pictures, and then you're like, oh yeah, I was walking, but then it's like, do I really care now? Or it's like, I just wasted my time going on my phone. I don't know. It's just, and then that's how it shapes your kind of daily life.
Like, when it gets to that point, I agree that that it's taking you too far. But I'm even just thinking of any kind of saving, like even if it's pictures of you and your family, right?
Yeah, well, that's incredibly valuable.
It all depends on what utility it has to you. Like, pictures of your family, it's nostalgic to look back on them.
Yes.
And it's
now,
it's
if you're like taking pictures all the time, like, hey, you're in the washroom, like, obviously there's no like utility to it. Yeah. So then like there's always a limit, and it's just if you're capturing
even with things that are not pictures, right? Like, for example, Delia. How useful is it for you to know what you've been feeling like for the past month? If you think it's useful, if you think you like it, then
that's what I'm wondering.
Then I see nothing wrong with it, because like, if it gives you even a little bit of a positive emotion, then it's worth it.
Well, it is a bit therapeutic in the sense that it's just good to let things out, and so by having me just having like my inputs of the day, it kind of makes me feel relieved, so that I let things out, and that's good. But then that's what makes you feel dependent on that, right? Because then it's like, oh, I do that, and like that makes you feel good. So by not doing that, then I'm deprived of that feeling of just letting go and letting things out.
But you can always let things out. You don't need an app to do that.
Being dependent on that, like if you're dependent, I don't think dependency is inherently bad. If that's just a good way to do it, then it's like writing. In my experience, writing a journal entry, writing poetry, writing my thoughts has been incredibly therapeutic.
I agree, definitely.
And doing that like daily, seeing it, maybe you won't like look back on it all the time. Like, oh, exactly on August 1st around 10 p.m. I felt like this. Yeah. But then it's just like the consistent way that you can like release energy from like yourself.
And even just like better. In the moment it feels good.
So then there's a very there's a utility to that. So like, it's not necessarily to look back on it. It's kind of more like, okay, you know what? I can maybe see a graph of like how I was feeling. But also I'm given the opportunity to just write a little bit every single day, and then that makes me feel way better. I
guess that like in the end, it's like what really matters is the reasoning and the motive behind you taking pictures or like saving something. So if the motive is just to be able to feel included in like the context or in the environment with others, then sure, then that should be changed. But if instead it's something that actually gives you joy and pleasure as you do it, and it's like something about family or friends that has some inherent value.
And I mean, for you, it might not be family or friends. It might be something totally different.
Exactly.
But as long as it has any kind of value to you, there's no problem doing it.
And I would just like to put a major takeaway from this, from my point of view, is writing things down, recording things in
saving things
anyway can be very important and useful.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself doing a lot, just ask yourself the question, like, am I really gaining from this? Am I really enjoying it, or am I just doing it out of habit? Like, I have a phone with a camera, and I'm just doing it because I have it,
Very good
but
point.
I don't actually want to. I'm just doing it because I'm used to.
Or because I feel that I should do it.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. So on that note, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree with us, if you disagree.
Do you like to save stuff? Do you not?
Exactly. Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Peace.
See you later.